This is Prince Hanley coming to you today with 100,000 watts of pure love. The voice to Israel and for Israel. I want to talk to you today about war between Israel and all of the Middle East. A war between Israel and probably all of the Middle East will happen, not just bordering Arab states like Lebanon, Syria, and Jordan, the Palestinians, Egypt, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Kuwait, Bahrain, United Arab Emirates, and others. In this podcast, I'm going to show you why, and then in subsequent shows, I will show you how. Also, I'm going to give you some word about what's happening today that you might not realize. The Middle East conflict, the Israeli-Arab dispute, is at its essence thousands of years old. It is a spiritual conflict, the political aspects of which are merely the symptoms. The beautiful thing is, in which many of us know, that both sides can win. Individuals on both sides of the geocultural battleground can win by yielding to the headship of Yeshua, God's Mashiach for all nations. National entities may clash, but individuals can find peace. I have had tremendous fellowship with Egyptian, Israeli, and Arab brethren in the Lord for many years. When Egyptian, Israeli, and Arab brethren love each other and all have similar major goals to see the love of God heal people and the power of God deliver them, then you have a benchmark from which to measure. These are not goals of homicide and terrorism. You know a tree by its fruit. You have a model for nations and cultures to emulate. Neither is this an offshoot of the ecumenical movement, where different theologians who have different ideas or philosophies of how to reach God or to contact Him attempt unity in the flesh. What I'm talking about is a true fellowship of people in the Holy Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh, who have experienced God through His Son, Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus, the Anointed One. Also, those who have experienced a genuine new birth through Messiah can do something that none of the cults, the occult, or the so-called New Age adherents can do. Yeshua's followers can please God. However, even though we can have peace individually and know the true God, the Scriptures do show us that there will be a final Israeli-Arab war. In Isaiah, that's the prophet Ishayahu, chapter 11, verses 12 to 16, we read a description of a war that will happen before Messiah comes to earth again. The first 11 verses tell us about Messiah's return and His rule of peace on earth. Then verses 12 to 16, the description of war cannot happen during this time because Mashiach's reign is characterized by peace. Another distinctive feature of the prophecy in verses 12 to 16 is that the war therein described has not happened historically. Read chapter 11 in Isaiah and see for yourself. A war between Israel and probably all of the Middle East will happen, not just bordering Arab states like Lebanon, Syria, and Jordan. They, that is, the children of Israel, both Ephraim and Judah, will fly down upon the shoulder of the Palestinians to the west. In context, Israel will strike against Misraim, against Egypt, and against Assyria, which is Iraq, and plunder the sons of the east. Israel will control these nations, and evidently their wealth, as a result of the plundering. Lexicographically, the people of the east include the Arab nations of Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Kuwait, Bahrain, United Arab Emirates, and others. It is very evident here in this passage, see verse 14, that Israel will control the east bank of Jordan. That's Ammon, Moab, and Edom. This happened in Joshua's time, but it has not happened since the days of Isaiah. This is a future prophecy that will happen. In the next podcast, I'm going to show you the specifics of how this will take place. Don't miss it, and tell your friends about the podcast. After the next music, stay tuned, because I want to tell you some important things that are happening today you may not know about. Right now, I want to discuss some things that are taking place in the world that you might not be aware of. A financial collapse and a worldwide recession is about to take place. Food shortage is becoming manifest in many countries. Let me interject this. A financial collapse accelerates the move toward a world money system. Right now, there are 144,000 Jewish male prophets, 12,000 from each of the tribes of Israel. And don't worry whether they know what tribe they're from, God does. They're being prepared to usher in the return of Messiah Yeshua for the establishment of his kingdom. Remember, before the 144,000 Jewish male prophets of God are to be marked, there will be a time of number 1, peace, then number 2, war, then number 3, hyperinflation, then number 4, death. This fourth devastation, death, will result in 1/4, 25% of the world's population dead. They will die from fighting, famine, disease, and wild beasts. Those who push for a new world order don't realize it, but they're simply pawns in the hands of Satan, the devil. For example, listen to this following quote, spoken by psychologist Barbara Marx Hubbard, member and future strategist of Task Force Delta, a United States Army think tank. She said, 1/4 of humanity must be eliminated from the social body. We are in charge of God's selection process for planet Earth. He selects, we destroy. We are the riders of the pale horse death. By the way, you might want to read Revelation chapter 6 in the Brit Hadashah, or the New Testament, the New Covenant. Let me say this. Satan needs the New World Order so that he can possess the body of the coming New World Leader, who will be none other than the false Messiah, the anti-Messiah, or the Antichrist, the beast who will deceive the nation of Israel. This coming world leader of the New World Order will make a treaty with Israel for 7 years, and he will allow the Jews to build their temple on the Temple Mount. However, in the middle of the 7 years, after 42 months have passed, he, the false Messiah, will go into the temple and blaspheme God, even stating that he, the New World Leader, is God. Then a time of great persecution for the Jews will begin, greater than the Holocaust under Nazi Germany. Be alert, watch, and pray. All these things will come to pass before Mashiach ben David returns. However, the good news is that you can know the Messiah personally. Now, here's what to do. Pray to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Ask him to reveal to you if Yeshua is really your Mashiach. If he does, then receive Yeshua and live for him. Study his word. Read the Torah. Read the Tanakh. Read and study the Brit Hadashah. Pray, and then ask God how he wants you to serve him. Obey God and let the power of the Lord invade the earth through you. And this is Prince Handley coming to you with 100,000 watts of pure love. Baruch haba b'Shem Adonai.